Hello and welcome to a tutorial for a simple beginner-friendly beanie. So what you're going to start out with is a 5mm hook. You can do 5.5 if you'd like. I personally like a 5mm one. And then you just need any weight for yarn. I do an acrylic one. It's called Crafter's Secret Big Idea. You can do basically any of the weight for acrylic, but most people have this on hand, so that's why I like to use it. So basically we are going to start with a slip knot. And so in order to do that, I have a super simple, easy way to start it off if you're going to start chaining. So what you're going to do, you're going to hold out your hand like this, place the yarn like this, hold it with your thumb right here, and then you're going to go around the back of your fingers, pull it up, and then make an X with that yarn. And then you're going to come over here with your pinky and you're going to give that yarn over to it and just kind of hold it against this ring finger. And then you're going to look over here. So this is what it's going to look like once you do that. And you're going to put your hook under the first one and grab the second one and just pull that off of your fingers. And as you do that, just rotate your entire hand. It makes it a lot easier. And then you just slowly bring it up and tighten that. And then you can kind of just tighten it out with both strings. And there you go. Super easy beginning slip knot. So that's what I like to do all the time. And then after that, we are going to chain 55. And now that I have chained 55, I usually measure this chain and it comes out to be 14.5 inches. This is so that it has a nice big brim. So it looks like this, but then pretend that this is your brim. That's usually how big it is typically. And then you also have to leave room for when you like close the top as well. So we are just going to do half double crochet across the entire row. So you're going to do a half double crochet in the second chain from the hook. And so you're going to yarn over, and then not this first one, but go into the second one right here. Oops. And then you're just going to complete your half double crochet. You're going to yarn over, insert your hook into the next chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 of those loops. So one more time, yarn over, go into that next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3. And you'll just do that until the very last stitch, so you'll have 54 total. And now once you get to the end of the row, you are going to chain 1 and then turn your work, and then we are going to be working in the back loop of the row. So these back loops over here. So I will show you what I do next. For this entire row, we are going to do a back loop, only half double crochet across. And so I'm going to show you, we're going to yarn over. And since we chained, we skip that chain, we go into this stitch, into the back loop. So then we yarn over and pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through all 3. And then we're going to keep doing that all the way across, yarn over, go into that back loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3. So continue doing that, and then I'll meet you at the end. I'm actually 2 from the end, and I just want to make sure that you guys are going into the very last one. Otherwise, it will make your rows a little bit zigzagging. So you have to make sure you get into that last stitch. So I'm going to show you the last 2 of my row. So I'm going to yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3. Then I'm going to yarn over again. And you might have to turn your work a little bit so that's easier to see. But then you go into this one right here. Yarn over, pull up a loop, and yarn over, pull through all 3. And then you're going to chain 1 and turn. And you're going to do this for each and every round. You're going to chain 1 and then turn. So you're going to do another row of back loop only, half double crochet, and you will go until you have 47 rows total of back loop only, half double crochet. And just remember the chain one and turn after each row. And then I will show you what it looks like at the end of row 47, and then we will sew up the sides and close the top. Depending on your tension, you may need to do more or less rows, so just kind of try it on as you do it, just to be sure that it will fit you or the person that you're making it for. Most people have a head that is around 21 to 24 inches wide, and so this does give a little bit of stretch, but if you have a little bit more of a loose tension than I do, or a tighter tension, then it will change. So just keep that in mind, and I recommend trying it on as you go. But mine was 17 inches wide to fit around my head. Okay, I wanted to record how I do the invisible seam stitch because I feel like it's a little bit different than any other stitch. And so it can get a little bit confusing. So I'm gonna show you how I do it because otherwise it might be a little bit confusing when you're doing it. So you see your yarn is in here right now. So you're gonna insert your little needle into the stitch. Like I'm on this side right now. So I'm gonna come over here, go into this stitch, and then I'm going to come up, and you can see where my stitches are because of the V's. I'm gonna come up into the next stitch, and I'm gonna pull it all the way through, and then I'm going to come over to this next side once I get it all the way through, I guess. It kind of wants to knot here. Okay, I think I have a knot in my yarn. Okay, but anyway, okay, so I've done that, and now I'm going to come over here, and it's gonna feel like you're working into the side. So, because this is our starting chain, basically, our starting part. So I'm gonna go into where this yarn is, right here. And it will feel weird. Just, you'll just have to get used to it. And then you'll come up into this little area right here. It's kind of like the next stitch. And I just kind of pull it all the way through. And then I'm going to show you again, just so that, yeah, I have a little knot in my yarn. So this is making it a little bit more difficult. It's going to be a little bit more easy pulling it through than what I'm doing. Okay, so we're going to come back over here. So we see that our yarn is in this one. So we're going to go in and then back up it through the next one. And then come and bring that all the way through. And then I like keeping this here for as long as possible because then I can see the yarn a little bit easier. And then I'm going to come over here, and then you can see, I'm going to scooch this down actually. Okay. And then I'm going to come into this, and then I'm going to come up, and then I'm going to pull it all the way through again. You can whip stitch it. It's just not going to be completely invisible of a join. So yeah, we're going to come back. So my yarn is in here, and then I'm going to go into that, and then, oh, come back up through that same stitch. Oop, I think I got it. Yeah. Okay. And then pull it all the way through. And then I'm gonna show you, oh, there we go. Then we're gonna come over here again. Go in here. Come up through the next one. So you can kind of see, like, as it goes, you can just go over until this bump ends, basically. So right here, you can see that bump right there. It's kind of like a next stitch in a way. And then just pull it all the way through again. But just make sure that you're going into the same stitch that you already had your yarn in. So like I already worked through this one, but I want to put my needle back in there. And so then I'm going to come back up. And then you just do that until the end. But when you do want to like cinch it all up, just kind of pull. And then you can see how it's like an invisible join, basically. You can't even tell where it was. Unless you know. And you're the only one that's gonna know, honestly. So yeah, just keep doing that until the end. Okay, now that I've invisible joined this entire thing right here up the side, I'm going to want to weave my hook and my yarn in and out of each of these bumps so that I can just like cinch it up at the very end and basically make the top come together. So I've turned it so that you can kind of see it. This was our very last stitch right here. So I just kind of wing it when I do this, honestly. Don't go down too far when you're going down here. Like, don't go down this far. But honestly, you can just like wherever you stopped at. I'm going to go down like 2 stitches, I think. Honestly, it's been a while since I've done this, so I'm going to go like right here. So basically you just go in before one ridge. So then you come up on the other side of the ridge, as you can see. And then I'm just going to like start pulling that through. I'm not gonna pull it all the way through, but then I'm going to go in on the other ridge. So I'm going to go right here, or let's see, how do I want to do this? I'm gonna go right here, and then I'm going to come up right here. Honestly, it's not an exact science, so don't worry if you feel like you're not doing it right. It's not a big deal, honestly. Then I'm going to go here and here, and then go down in here, come up over here. Yeah, like you can see, it's not like I'm doing it all in one place. Like, it'll still be in a relatively straight line, but it's not going to be completely straight. So don't be a perfectionist about it. It's going to turn out, like I promise. It's going to be okay. Okay, so then you go down here. Just make sure that when you put your hook back in, don't accidentally go into the same hole. Like, if you spread this apart, you can kind of see that I'm right here in between the stitch. Let me just zoom in. Okay, let me just show you a quick thing. So I'm like spreading apart the stitches right here, and you can see like there's this little hole right here in between the stitches. Don't go back into here. Go like a little bit up from there. So then you're going into a different hole, but it's still kind of the same stitch in a way. Or you can go into this one right here. Like, honestly, whatever you feel like doing, it's more of like how you feel than an exact science. Okay, I'm going to do it a few more times just so that you can see it. It's always so much easier with visuals. So you see it's right here. And just spread that apart a little bit. You can see my hand through it as well. I just like going in here or here. It really doesn't matter. I do one or the other. I do both, actually, if I'm being honest. I kind of go wherever I kind of feel like it as I'm doing it. And you have a lot of rows to do, so it's not like it's gonna really show too much, so you don't have to worry. And then sometimes it feels like you're zigzagging. So I'm right here. I might go up a little bit because I don't want this bunching up and being like a huge thing at the end. Otherwise it might look a little wonky. And honestly, I might make a pattern where it's a circle that you work into, like a magic ring instead, so that you don't even have to worry about it being bulky at the top. But I just thought like going back and forth in rows is really, really easy and beginner friendly. So that's why I just wanted to make the tutorial, because honestly, it's easier to me. Okay, let me just do it slow again. I feel like I'm going too fast. Okay, so I'm about 2 stitches down, going right up there. And then you can see where I come out at, just right there. And if you come out at a different spot, that's okay. I just kind of like to work with the ridges. And like I said, I don't know if that's how you're supposed to do it. It's just how I do it. And it works really well. So just keep doing that as you as you work it. And as you can see, I went in like towards the middle of that one that time. So it looks a little bit different. So then I'll just go a little bit further. And I'm still like on the other side of the ridge. I'll just put it in. And then it can be a shorter stitch, it could be a longer stitch. They don't have to be uniform. You can make them uniform. Some people are perfectionists, that's okay. I just like going wherever I kind of want to. Okay, I'm back at the beginning. This was where I first started. I'll show you what happens when you cinch it up. I hope this works. I haven't done this in a while, so see, it's kind of starting to come together. You just kind of pull on that tail. There we go. See, still comes together. It's coming together slowly. And so as you can see, as it starts to cinch up, it'll get smaller and smaller. And the thing is, like, this is why I only go through like the top 2 or 3, because otherwise you get this little mess, and you'll get it no matter what. Okay, so what I want to do, in order to make sure that this is secure, because this is not going to be secure. If you put this on your head, it's going to just like come undone. What I like to do is I will take this tail that I've been working with, and I will go, let's see. Okay, so we started over here. I'm just gonna go in any place where you feel like it kind of works. And then just come kind of straight across. You can also go at an angle. You can go across to the other side of the circle. I just kind of go in and out a few times to try and secure it and make sure that it doesn't come undone. Don't do a whip stitch because that will be seen. Just go in and out a bunch of times. I've done it like 10 times, but yet I'm still like, I don't know if it's secure, you know? I always have that issue where I'm like, oh, is it good? Is it good? Okay, so I'm going to also like do a few, let's see if I should do some knots. I'm gonna zoom in so that you can see it a lot better. But basically, so my yarn is there. I'm just going to come a little bit under it, and I'm gonna go like this, pull it through. Well, not all the way through, just leave like a little circle, okay? And then come in through that circle. And I guess you could go through it a few times, but this makes it easier to just cinch down. And then just like really tight. And do that about like 3 to 5 times, just to really make sure that it's not gonna go anywhere. But there we go. And we got it all. And so then we are going to cut that string. Let me just back up a little bit. Okay, geez. Okay, so you can kind of see how it's coming together. It looks pretty good, yeah. Obviously it's not gonna be perfect because it's just a simple little beanie. But I'm going to cut that off. And then, so this is going to be the inside of the hat. So I guess I should have said that before. So it's going to look better on the outside. But basically, you just put it inside out. And there you go. Like, it looks a lot better that way. I totally forgot that I had to flip it out. So I guess I was, like, getting concerned over nothing. But you can kind of see, like, looks pretty good, right? Like, I enjoy a large brim. That's why I chain so much. It kind of helps with my ears. You can do a lot longer if you want.